Hello and welcome to episode 364 of the video show. Today I'm joined by another guest, Chris Wade from Dog Brain Videos. Chris creates lots of music videos. He also creates promotional videos for businesses. But what I wanted to talk to him about was his new short film called Wuurm. That's Wuurm. I think that's how it's spelled. I will put a link below as well so you can see it, see the trailer for it, because you're not allowed to watch it for another year because it's still currently doing lots of stuff on the festival circuit. It's won a lot of awards. I have been lucky enough to see it because Chris did send me a link, but I wanted to talk to Chris about how he created the film, how he came up with the idea, how they filmed it, how they come up with the effect for there's a puppet in the film. I wanted to see about that. But basically, because I create short films as well, I wanted to see what his processes was like, how he got into festivals, and really find out about that, because it's such a good film. It's already won awards. It's still got over a year to go on the festival circuit, and I just wanted to find out more about it. So if you're into making short films, this is the episode to watch. So here is the interview with Chris.
Sweetheart, is everything okay in there?
It's fine, Mum! Fuck's sake, Mother!
Got any festivals this year, mate?
Oi, prick! What do you want from me?
All I want is to live buried inside of you for the rest of your life.
How did you come up with the initial idea?
So I actually wrote the film, created the film with my friend Callum, who we've been friends since school. I've known him for about 20 years, 20 plus years. So he got ill one night about 5 years ago, and he felt he like completely tripped out and hallucinated that he actually had like a tapeworm inside him, and it was like talking to him and stuff, like a proper fever. So he always thought that would be a good idea for a film, and we lived quite far away from each other at the time, and then we sort of came back together later in life. And then we just made it. Like lockdown almost sort of gave us the opportunity to just sit and do storyboards and chat back and forth. So yeah, it sort of came from that, really.
And is it something you do a lot of, creating short films?
That's actually my first ever short film. So I've made loads of music videos before, and that's my job. Like, I'm a videographer, and I've always made videos for other people. So I've made like wacky and crazy DIY stuff before and that, but this is the first time I've ever done something for myself. So yeah, it's been really, really fun. It's had a crazy response for a first film, which was basically just like an experiment almost.
I think it's really cool how like some of like the weirdest films are like based in truth. Like we did a film for a festival called DV Mission, where it's like a 48-hour film festival, and we did one that's also shit related as well, where someone's being shit in the toilet in the building here, and like there's a mystery towards like who's been doing it, and there's signs that went up all around the building here, like in the toilets in the building here, like, please don't be afraid to use the toilet brush. Because they've been like leaving skidders everywhere. So we made a film based on that. So it's weird how like there's sort of parallels in terms of shit related film comedy ideas. In terms of how you've marketed your film and how you've put it into festivals, what's the process been behind that?
So this was like the bit that I was clueless about before doing it, and it was really fun learning how to do it. I made a lot of mistakes with it. So there's a film site called filmfreeway.com, and we were like, great, we're just gonna enter it into, because there's like filters and stuff. So what you do on Film Freeway is that you create a profile for yourself, like who you are. So I just did a Dog Brain Videos one, and sort of wrote who I was and my bio, and then you sort of create a project for your film. And then you add stills, you add a synopsis, log line, everything like that, and you just present it almost, upload your press pack, and then you go through the festivals that you sort of like the look of, so you can search by genre. So ours is a horror comedy, so we were doing horror and comedy and horror comedy, not as different as the categories. And yeah, we sorted by country. We did UK first because we wanted to submit to as many films as possible where we could actually go and watch it ourselves, and because I'd never been to a film festival before, so that was important. So I did UK first, but it's had the most reach and reaction in America, really. Like, people in America are loving it. So it's really nice that you can sort by country and well, just amazing, cool film festivals that I've never heard of. It's been good to get to know these like weird organizations and stuff that are into it, so yeah, you select the sort of festival you want and you put it in a basket, almost like you're buying something off Amazon. And then you just hit pay at the end, so you've got like a basket of all these festivals in. But what we did it wrong, is that you can get so many discount codes if you go on these festivals Twitters or something, or their Facebook, or even just sign up to a mailing list. You'll get a 10% off code, or up to 50% sometimes. And we just paid full price for everything because we're so excited. And then afterwards got all these emails saying, great, here's 50% off your next film, or.
Well, yeah, at least for next time now you've got all those codes saved up. So hopefully you save something on it.
100%.
So did you have to set a budget aside for submitting to these festivals, and did you have that in mind as you were making it?
Yeah, we sort of, because I just didn't know how the fuck it works. So I was like, let's submit this film into 60 film festivals, and maybe 2 or 3 will pick us, because I heard it was really hard to get into film festivals, and it's like a real cutthroat sort of thing, and it can be amazing highs and then crushing lows and stuff. So we were like, oh well, I don't like the sound of that, let's just enter it to loads and see what happens. And we just got such a good response. If I was to stop now, I'd be happy, but there's still 50 left on the roster. So I think when all is said and done, we spent about 600 quid or so, possibly more, because when I got drunk on nights out or whatever, I would just buy another one. It's so easy to do it. It's quite addictive. You're like, oh, this one looks good, I'll enter into that. So
in terms of budget in the film as well, did you have to budget the actual production side of things? Did you have a budget in mind, or were you just sort of, let's do it and it costs what it costs?
Yeah. I mean, we were wary of it. There wasn't we weren't watching the pennies down to the T, because a lot of the stuff was free. So the location was free, so that was a help. And everyone agreed to do things for cheap as well and help out because they love the concept. But we still spent probably about $1,500 on it. There was just stupid stuff we did. Obviously, to make the puppet, we spent about 200 quid trying to make this puppet the first time, and it just didn't work out. And we bought a gazebo for my garden so we could turn it into my workshop, and that was 100 quid. Just stupid stuff like that, which we didn't even use. So yeah.
One of the things you touched on it there, but one of the things I was when I made my short film that I was really surprised and quite touched by was the amount of people that were happy to give up their time or help you out for free. So all of my actors in our film did it for free and gave up their time, sometimes multiple days, just spending with us filming. Other people so we needed a tent for our film, a massive marquee type tent. I just knew someone who had one. He was happy to come along on a Saturday morning and help us out. We needed a car on the Sunday morning. Someone brought his classic car along. So was it really nice having that? Because you mentioned you had the location for free and everything. But so how did that go? How were those conversations? Were you sort of assuming that would happen, or were you quite surprised by it?
No, honestly, it is so nice. I'm so grateful for anyone that can help out in any way. With any of these things, I've had people help out on music videos, and they'll never know what it means to you to get involved and help out. So funny enough, I just, for this one, because I didn't know a sound man, so these were Facebook finds. I just put it on Facebook, any sound people, and I sort of more or less got recommended. One of the first people that replied, and I paid him because his quality was so good. Like I was willing to pay for his services. His name's Mark Chethins, has a company called Mac One Sound, and he's brilliant. He's like an absolute sound fanatic. So, and he's a real pro. So that was worth it. And then we had another effects artist. Again, no one else that I knew. That I was like, how are we going to make slime? How are we going to make our worm look even better? You know, how are we going to do makeup and bruises and cuts? Like, I just a cameraman and a director. So we found this amazing woman called Tracy Jane who's doing really well on the film circuit. And she just offered to help out. You know, we put her up in a hotel, paid her expenses, we made sure everyone was fed and watered. And then, some amazing actors. Our actors all, did it for free as well. Like, they were just happy to be part of it. Super grateful for them. Like, they really went out of their way to help us. So, it's happening again as well. We're in the middle of I'm shooting my next one on Sunday, and again, people are coming. You know, I am paying people this time, but it's still not much. It's enough, but it's just I can't believe people are helping out.
Yeah, it's so nice that like people just help you out. I think they hear the word film and they think that sounds cool. I've been blown away by it. Going back to the puppet that you mentioned as well, that was one of the things I was really sort of like thought. I kind of imagined it in my head, and it was better than I imagined, but it was also funnier than I imagined as well, because I could kind of see how it was made, and I thought that made it a bit funnier. So how did you go about making the puppet?
So the inspiration for the puppet is actually, I've got a little pop here. Do you know like pop figurines? You know, the weird black-eyed little things. This is a really good pop figure because it hasn't got the black eyes. It's this was the inspiration for the worm. It's the plant from what's the bloody film called? I forgot the film.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, Little Shop of Horrors.
That's it, Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, yeah. That's the inspiration for the worm. And the best way to do this, like I said, we tried to carve it out of foam first and make a latex puppet, but it was just so hard. So I got a Kermit the Frog puppet, which is a very similar shape to this. It was just like a cheap one on eBay. So I just modded a Kermit the Frog puppet. So underneath the worm is that. So it's it's a Kermit puppet. I just learned how to make polymer plastic teeth and gums. They're like these little balls that you put boiling water in, and it was so cool doing it. I was like, I can't believe I'm making this, and it came out well, but it still needed a bit of work, and that's where Tracy came in and added like a latex skin to the sort of top. It was cool.
The slime coming off it as well was incredible. I thought it's so good.
Yeah, that was made with like menthol shower gel, and it was like really burning.
You wouldn't even know that, would you? Yeah, you wouldn't even think of that. But yeah, it's something just you had to buy for a few quid in Tesco and just go and get it. In terms of like the writing process, what was that like? Like, how did you sort of have an idea of what you wanted? And something I find when me and Scott, my friend from uni, we write our films together. Something we find, because we only write comedy films, and we know it's good when we both laugh. So do you have like a similar sort of system to that?
Yeah, I mean, most of it was written sending back and forth. You know, we had a few sessions where Callum would come to my house and I'd cook like a chili con carne or something, and we would have a couple of beers and discuss it. But I went travelling for a little bit, for a couple of months, and I wrote most of the film in this scrappy little handbook, and I sent pictures back to Callum, and then over the course of a year, we digitised it and rewrote it and stuff. So we just know what each other finds funny, because like I said, we've been friends for 20 years. We love like The Simpsons. We like any sort of dark humour, like Simpsons sort of type stuff. And Father Ted was a massive influence on this film, and Bottom, and all those like UK British sitcoms that we both love.
Oh, you can definitely tell Bottom, yeah.
Yeah, it's that he's very Rick Mayall, isn't he, Jeff? It was like sort of call back to that. So that film's just basically what we watched as kids, you know, like, and we're old enough to make something stupid now. So yeah, that was it really. Callum's a very good writer. He studied script writing and he's won competitions, and I can scribble my shit down and he'll transform it into a proper professional script. So it's a good partnership.
So how long did the whole the filming process take?
So we had 2 days in the bathroom. I didn't mention it's my nan's bathroom, by the way. So it was my nan's house, which was really great, and she let us use it, like have free reign of it. And because she works, so she would go out 9 to 5, and we would come in, shoot, and get out before she got back. Just because we were making so much racket and noise and mess that I wanted it to look peaceful when she got home. You would never know. So that was over 2 days. We found out we had to reshoot some of the stuff, so we went back for another day. So it was 3 days in the bathroom, and then all of the cutaway sequences were just over when we could. It was the
soap opera stuff.
Yeah, the soap opera stuff that was a 1 day shoot. All the stuff where it sort of cuts away to him in different toilets and stuff. Like there's a bit in a gig. Yeah, that was sort of, all these places were local, so it's sort of like, can you make it for an hour down at this local bar, or can you come to my garden and squat in a bush? Let's go to the public toilet. One was crazy. Like, it was a real working public toilet, so we had to guerrilla style get in and out. And my friend was pretending to be this thug, going, "You prick, get out of there!" And a postman walked in and then just walked straight back out because it looked like there was some sort of fight going on.
You're there with cameras as well. It is weird. Like we had when we filmed our toilet film, it was in the office here, and it was on a Saturday, and on the Monday, the receptionist, who's very jobs worthy, she called me into her office and she was like, "Mark, we had a number of complaints over the weekend about noise," and the noise was all me because it was a bit where I was in it screaming. And she's like, "The police were very nearly called," and I was just like, "I'm really sorry, it will never happen again." So yeah, I was told off, and I thought I might get kicked out.
Worth it.
But yeah,
gotta do it.
But yeah, so yeah, screaming around in the toilet, I know exactly what that's like. Okay, cool. That's really something I learned so many lessons from creating our film. Our film was 20 minutes long and multiple locations. So I had learned I would love my next film to be in one location or much less locations. Was there any lessons that you learned that you'll take into your next film?
Yeah, it's mainly about money, I guess. There was a lot of things, we've already sort of mentioned it, the stupid purchases, but it was very much, I knew I was burning money to find out if it was viable. So I wouldn't say it was wasted, but I know not to try and do so many things myself next time, and just hire someone like Tracy from the get-go and not try and create something I don't not know much about. So it's mainly about people. I learned to reach out to people a lot more and ask for people's help more, and not try and do everything myself so much. So that was the main takeaway from it, really, and just the whole process. It was such a learning curve. And get it done a lot more quicker, because by the end of it, I was just completely burnt out, and the sound design suffered a little bit for it and stuff like that. So this next one I'm making we're shooting it bang, bang, bang over the course of a month. So
nice.
That's going to be better.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, or is that all under wraps at the moment?
Yeah, so I was actually just in a hotel securing the location for one of the scenes, actually. But basically, the film's called, I won't announce what it's called yet, but it's about two guys that are throwing a ball in a field, playing a game of catch, and the ball goes missing whilst they play catch. And then just what follows is just absolute, mayhem.
Nice.
That's all I say at the moment, because it's early days. But
that's good.
It's crazier than Wuurm.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot, because Wuurm is mental, but it's brilliant. At the moment, people can't, because when you sent me your film, you're like, "Please do not share it." So is there a time when people will be able to watch your film?
Yeah, again, shot ourselves in the foot a bit with the short film circuit, because we entered it into so many. So we have a year short festival circuit span on it. So in a year it'll be up. Nice. April, I'll just release it online.
What I'll do when it comes out, let me know, and I'll release a clip from this on my LinkedIn, and then put a link to it as well. You can finally watch it.
Thank you, mate. That'd be
because
great.
it is worthwhile watching it. It's so funny, so well done, and just like I wish I'd come up with the idea. Yeah, it's so good.
Cheers.
And I look forward to seeing the next one as well.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they want to talk about getting music videos made, or if maybe they just want to help you out in your next short film? What is the best way for people to get in touch?
So I've got 2 video production companies. One of them is called Dog Brain Videos, which is what this crazy stuff falls under. So like music videos, now short films, promotional videos to do with weird dark stuff, and just that's my filmmaking side of the sort of career. And then I've got a corporate production company. So if that's like sort of your business promotional weddings and sort of cleaner stuff. So, but I'm always looking to work with people on that side too. It's like just as fun for me. So that's called the Kent Video Company because I live in Kent. So it's does what it says on the tin. That's
amazing for Google.
I know. I can't believe no one else had it. The Kent Video Company, and it works.
That's incredible.
It works. You can find me on Instagram. That's where my main stuff is. So dogbrain_videos. And find me there. That's the best place.
Excellent. Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming onto the show. I look forward to seeing Wuurm again when it comes out in a year. And then also I look forward to seeing your next one as well.
Yes, definitely.
So looking forward to it.
I'll be leaking out some teasers and bits and bobs.
So that's it for episode 364. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions for Chris, do connect with him on LinkedIn. And if you've got any questions for future episodes of the show, do leave them in the comments below or leave us a message on anchor.fm/the video show. And I will see you next time in episode 365, where we're joined by Martin Wiskin, who is a voiceover artist, but he also runs a very interesting networking group called the Creative Collective, where it invites all sorts of different creative people to the networking group that runs every 2 weeks, and we'll find out more about that next time. Goodbye.